Moving right along, it is a spiritual battle or warfare between good and evil. No such thing as racism, sexism, homophobia, Islamophobia, no ism. It's either right or wrong, good or evil. Really. No such thing as deadbeat dads and all this crap that the children of the lie are making up to deceive us. It's either right or wrong, good or evil. So Patrick Rooney mentioned this thing that's happening to the president right now where, according to a Drudge report, New York Times saboteur inside the White House. James is here to help us talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, the USA Today says anonymous senior Trump official blasts president as erratic and amoral. I am part of the resistance.
So the resistant person is really the erratic, amoral person, but they think the president is.
I don't know what amoral even really means. I know immoral.
Right. I think A be without.
Yeah, but immoral is better word.
And so who is the traitor, though? The person that's working for the president and going out trying to hurt the president.
Yeah.
Like that evil woman, what's that black woman? That messenger. Yeah, where is she now?
Who knows?
But anyway, so go ahead, the article.
So the article from the New York Times is called, I am part of the resistance inside the Trump administration. And he says, I work for the president, but like-minded colleagues and I have vowed to thwart parts of his agenda and his worst inclinations.
It's so interesting. These people working for the president, they're in the White House, according to the story, and they see the greatness that this president has done in the short time that he's been in the White House, about a year and a little over half now, right? Mm-hmm. And this man has done more than the fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, did in 8 years, than George W. Bush did in 8 years, than Bill Clinton, any other president. And they still don't want the country to be great.
I know.
This is from Trump TV network.
Yeah.
President Trump, and I want you to see this, folks, so we're going to move this fast because the liberal media is not reporting what the Great White Hope has done, and is doing. And so it's our job to get that out to you. Trump TV network, President Trump responds to anonymous op-eds after meeting with sheriffs. So the president met with the sheriffs to say, thank you, doing a great job. How can I help more? Here's that soundbite.
I am part of the resistance inside the Trump administration.
Hey, I asked the sheriffs, can you imagine this? We have somebody in what I call the failing New York Times that's talking about he's part of the resistance within the Trump administration. This is what we have to deal with. And, you know, the dishonest media, because you people deal with it as well as I do. But it's really a disgrace.
It is. In the White House, this man has done more for the good. This country has been improved by him. And there's somebody in the White House claiming to be doing this. Mind blowing. Mm-hmm. The president touts how his administration is getting things done.
I will say this. Nobody has done what this administration's done in terms of getting things passed and getting things through. An article was just printed, just came out a few minutes ago. Trump breaks the record for budget gridlock wins, scores big win. So for 20 years, it's a 20-year record. For 20-year record, they call it the fouled up budget gridlock. And scores big win. Here's your thing.
Boy, that's an amazing stuff. So, you know what? If you got to do it yourself. Get the job done. The president, more people working.
Almost 4 million jobs created since the election, of which more Americans now employed than ever recorded in our history. So we have more people working today than at any point ever in our history. We've created 400,000 manufacturing jobs, Manufacturing jobs are growing at the fastest pace in more than 30 years. Economic growth last quarter was 4.2%. And as you people know, it was headed down big.
Ooh, he said, you people. The blacks normally freak out over that. You people. You people. And look, you would think that the Democrats would love this. The right or Republicans would love this next soundbite. The far left leftists who pretend to care about black people would love it. They don't. Black unemployment and others are low. Watch this.
And think of that. The unemployment picture in the country is the best it's been in 49 years. African American unemployment lowest in the history of our country. Asian American unemployment lowest in the history of our country. Hispanic American unemployment lowest in the history of our country. I mean, I'm just looking at these, just point after point. Under my administration, veterans' unemployment reached its lowest in many, many years.
Amazing. These are things you would think that the liberal media, the far left, the rhinos, everybody and their mama would be rejoicing about. But because they hate this president, he is a straight, white, conservative, Christian man of power who has put the country first and is an enemy to the children of the lie. The president goes on and say that more people are off food stamps. We even got a tax cut. We got tax cuts.
Let's see, almost 3.9 million Americans have been lifted off food stamps just since my election. Then you go into all of the benefits that we got from the tax cuts. All of you people benefited tremendously from the tax cuts. You go into regulation cuts. You go into right to try. Right to try is where you have the right, if a person's terminally ill, you have a right to go and try and see whether or not a drug that's not approved yet can be used and utilized. They didn't allow that.
This man is really putting the desires of the voters first. We the people. And this is the right thing to do. It is absolutely the right thing to do. But the government, the liberals, the rhinos, the media don't want this. They have never wanted it. And you have this evil, wicked witch of the West with the low IQ. What's her name?
Maxine Waters.
I just thought you would like to say it. Running around like a crazy mad woman talking about impeach the president. Attack his supporters. Anyone supporter, get him. Anyone who vote for the Democrats and call yourself a child of God, a son or daughter of God, you're a liar. And the truth is not in you. And if you're black, the truth ain't in you. Amazing. Making America great again. I just want to give you a little bit more about the president. And he's talking to a group of sheriffs, thanking them for a great job that they're doing in a tough time. And the president touts his successes since being in the White House, where because the liberal media won't do it. James, you mentioned the food stamp situation.
Yeah, he said he lifted 3-point-something million people off of food stamps, but Obama was the food stamps president. Like, he increased the number of people on food stamps.
The fallen Messiah.
Yeah.
The president said that we got rid of individual mandate. We got the Olympics.
Point after point, getting rid of the individual mandate, the most unpopular thing there is in Obamacare, coming up with new health care plans. We've never had a period, even if you look at the Olympics, the World Cup, you just saw them, they were in my office, got the World Cup. Nobody has, and we have started the wall.
Amazing. Mind-blowing stuff. Trump talked about the anonymous source at the New York Times.
Nobody has ever done in less than a 2-year period what we've done. So when you tell me about some anonymous source within the administration, probably who's failing and probably here for all the wrong reasons. No. And the New York Times is failing. If I weren't here, I believe the New York Times probably wouldn't even exist. And someday...
I agree. I absolutely agree. He says that when Trump is gone, the New York Times and CNN will close.
And someday when I'm not president, which hopefully will be in about 6.5 years from now, the New York Times and CNN and all of these phony media outlets will be out of business, folks. They'll be out of business because there'll be nothing to write and there'll be nothing of interest.
I agree. It'll be done because most people don't trust them anyway. He says that the New York Times is about open borders, high crime, very dishonest.
Nobody has done what this administration has done. And I agree, it's different from an agenda, which is much different than ours, and it's certainly not your agenda, that I can tell you.
Thank you.
It's about open borders. It's about letting people flee into our country. It's about a disaster and crime for our country. So they don't like Donald Trump, and I don't like them because they're very dishonest people. Remember this also about the New York Times. When I won, they were forced to apologize to their subscribers. They wrote a letter of apology. It was the first time anybody's ever done it because they covered the election incorrectly.
And the last one, anonymous, meaning gutless editors. I love this.
So if the failing New York Times has an anonymous editorial, can you believe it? Anonymous, meaning gutless, a gutless editorial. We're doing a great job. The poll numbers are through the roof. Our poll numbers are great. And guess what? Nobody is going to come close to beating me in 2020 because of what we've done. So Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Amazing. Man, and there's a tweet.
Yeah, Trump tweeted out part of this video, and he wrote, "The failing New York Times."
If you don't, what you see is what you get with this president. If you don't love this president and appreciate him, you got some serious issues. It's so amazing to me what's happening in my country today. We now have a chance to turn it around for the good, and it is turning around. And there's a very serious battle happening for it, though, and that's fine. Don't be afraid to fight this battle. And Christians, don't be afraid to stand up with the truth against the children of the lie. Even the black ones, the white ones, the Mexican ones, or whomever are on the side of the lie, fight against them by telling the truth and not be afraid. If we lose this president, then it's over for the country. He's given good people the courage to stand up again. Let's take advantage of the opportunity. Stand with truth. The truth will defeat the lie.